And after that, Queens Royal College goes up against Trinity College East. Looking at the weather that these young men will play under today, it is 32 degrees Celsius, 70% humidity index, and wind speeds of just 13 kilometers per hour. An exciting one ahead. My name is Hans Devines, and joining me on the side of the field, Brent Sancho. Brent, a doubleheader. We're excited about it. What can we expect from today's two games?
Well, first and foremost, Hans, it is hot. It's good conditions for football. The surface is nice out there. We have four teams with varying circumstances. I expect a very entertaining afternoon of football here today.
Now, we also had a very entertaining afternoon of football on Wednesday. We saw Sawa North Secondary going up against Trinity College East. And Sawa, although they are a goal-scoring machine, they were just able to get one in on Trinity College East.
Yeah. It was a tight game, Hans, and as you rightfully said, and of course, as you look at the rest of the result, Queens Royal College, who is playing here today, won 4 goals to 2 against Malik Secondary, and Chaguanas North Secondary lost to East Mucurapo Sec, who we are going to see today as well, 2 goals to 1. Presentation College continuing on their unbeaten run, 3 goals to 0 over Moruga Secondary.
And when we look at the table, Brent, Sawa North Secondary on top via that goal difference, and we see looking at the bottom of the table, Malik Secondary and Moruga Secondary with East Mucurapo and Queens Royal College in the middle there. So exciting times. Okay. Right. Okay. Just a look at the table here at Hazy Crawford Stadium. Brent, let's talk about the teams today. The first game, East Mucurapo Secondary going up against Sawa North Secondary. Obviously, East Mucurapo need the points. What do they need to do?
Yeah, they need the points here today, of course. A little bit too close to the bottom of the table for their liking. A team that's normally very resolute in defense. They've given up 10 goals so far this season. That's not good for East Mucurapo Secondary standards. They'll be disappointed in that. They'd want to fix that today, particularly coming up against a high-scoring team in San Juan North.
Well, before the season started, we spoke to Coach Saunders of East Mucurapo, and this is what he had to say.
Some of the players came back. They didn't know how to run properly. So we had also...
If we hold the umbrella, what, let me borrow this? If we kind of do this.
They will pick up.
So like, if we come down low and we kind of hold it like that.
All right.
See that better there?
All right, we're going.
Coach Saunders talking about his team, and other than this game, Brent, we get ready for QRC going up against Trinity College East. What can we expect in that one?
I think for Queens Royal College perspective, and of course for Trinity College East, it's all about collecting points and trying to move themselves off the table. QRC has had a mixed bag. No, it's supposed to San Juan North. San Juan North. Yeah.
We're not talking about QRC yet. Okay.
No, yeah, go to San Juan North.
Okay.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah.
Right, good.
So come out of that San Juan North.
Oh, so at the top, talk about both. Right.
Shiny black polish.
Right. Okay, great. 5 seconds of silence. But now, what year we were supposed to get a set of gold medals? Brian, what's his name? Say? Yeah. It was 22 gold by 2022 or something, so you can say. The Olympic Committee president.
I was 2017, I think.
You can say something like 20, 25.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Tiger Tanks Secondary Schools Football League Premiership Division. Our fixture today brings us to a stadium named after Trinidad and Tobago's first Olympic gold medalist, Hazley Crawford. In a stadium where legends are made. Today, inside Group B, Sour North Secondary goes up against East Mucurapo Secondary School to see if they can continue their unbeaten streak. And Queen's Royal College, coached by Kenwin Jones, go up against Trinity College East. The weather conditions that these young men will play under today. The temperature, 32 degrees Celsius, humidity at 70%, and wind speeds at 13 kilometers per hour. My name is Hans Devines, and joining me on the side of the pitch today, Brent Sancho. Brent, weather conditions are
perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. It's perfect. And something we haven't seen for a while, as you rightfully said. Of course, nice hot conditions, and we're playing on this silky smooth surface here at the Hazley Crawford. Arguably one of the best surfaces in this country. It will have an impact on the game today. Of course, it's an exciting double header with 4 teams that are facing various situations in where they go in this season. But this should be an absolute cracker today.
Well, let's talk about some of the situations that we have coming out of today's fixtures.
Well, of course, first of all, when you look at East Mucurapo Sec, this is a team that normally does not give up a lot of goals.
Yeah.
They've conceded 10 so far in this tournament. They would want to clean this up if they're coming up against this team in Samoa North, of course, who is a goal-scoring threat. But it's all about being resolute defensively, and they have to do well from that aspect.
Well, let's talk about Trinity College East and QRC.
Yes, similar. They need points. Both teams need points. We talked about the undefeated teams in this competition and, of course, moving out of the group. But those 2 teams need to get points, and it has to start today.
Well, let's hear what the coach of East Mucurapo Secondary, Coach Saunders, had to say. We're going to find out from him in a little while. But let's look back at the fixtures from the last match day. I mean, looking back at it, 4-2. Kenwin Jones's QRC were able to defeat Malik Sour North Secondary. Although they're a goal scoring machine, were only able to get 1 in on Trinity College East. It speaks to their quality as well. Chaguanas North Secondary lost to East Mucurapo Secondary 2-1, and Presentation College remain unbeaten with 3-0 over Moruga Secondary School. But when we look at the table, Brent,
yeah, you look at the table, of course, Samoa North and Presentation College still undefeated, hefty and healthy goal difference and points as well. But when you look at the bottom of the table, Hans, those teams, Trinity College East, Malik Secondary and Moruga Secondary, has to do a lot better.
Well, we looked at the teams, we looked at the table, but East Mucurapo Secondary, what do they really need to do to get over Sour North Secondary School today?
I think it's about keeping the right shape, and the right shape means defensively as a unit. All 11 players have to be in sync. They have to be cognizant, of course, of that man up front for Samoa North, Larry Noel, and his main supplier in Lindell Sween. Those 2 players are going to wreak havoc if you don't keep them in control. And despite the fact that they've given up 10 goals so far, I think the coach, Dale Saunders, is a type of individual to make sure that his men are well, of course, equipped and well shaped to take on their assignment here today.
Well, you mentioned Coach Dale Saunders. Let's hear what he had to say pre-season.
Some of the players came back, they didn't know how to run properly. So we had to teach them, even from that aspect of it, even without the ball, to run, to shoot the football, proper technique, you know. So it was really, really poor. But at the end of the day, they're enjoying it, and yeah, you're seeing a lot of improvement going forward. Now you have to coach. So before, whereas you could have brought in players with ready-made players, now you have to go back to the drawing board and coach your players and try to bring them up to the standard of the league. And it was very difficult because a lot of the guys were playing like leagues all over the country. But you know, there's a different pride when you're representing the school. And I think the SSFL has a brand. And all the guys who are ambitious to play at this level within the school football league. You know, so that these players can have the opportunities to represent the school, represent their family, and also, play at the highest level in school football, because there's a lot of contracts about, there's colleges, scholarships, and so on. So I'm really happy for the guys for this opportunity at SSFL and trying to keep the boys focused on, you know, the positives in their lives.
Keeping them focused is one of his missions, but he said something really important inside there, Brent. Tiger Tank Secondary Schools Football League Premiership Division, there's a brand associated with it, and there's a brand associated with getting that title. Sour North Secondary School, they're very close to advancing. Let's talk about them a little bit, what they need to do.
Yeah, well, a win today, of course, puts them into the next phase of the competition. And when you look at the components that have made them successful so far, you talk to Larry Noel, you talk about Lendell Sween. They have been exceptional this year. But one thing, Hans, has worried me a little bit for Sanborn North coming into this fixture. Coach Moore talked about how thin his squad is.
Right.
Doesn't have much players coming off the bench. They played a very difficult game against Trinity College East in very difficult conditions. You just have to wonder, with this heat, and of course the fact that they have to reshuffle the pack quite quickly for this fixture, will they be up for it physically?
Well, here's the interesting thing, Brent. Just before the game, you actually got a chance to speak with the manager of the team, and he actually spoke to that. So let's hear what he has to say.
I'm now joined by the manager of Sanborn North Secondary, manager Stephen Clark. Stephen, a win today puts you into the second round. What's the mood like in the changing room?
Good afternoon, Brian. Good afternoon to your viewing audience. The mood is very, very calm. We are not really studying the win, but we are studying how well we play. And so far, the guys are really digging deep. And today, we are just about continuing our consistency.
Well, of course, not a lot of turnaround time between games, played on a very heavy pitch at Trinity College East. Coach Moore talked about, of course, the thinness of the squad. How are you going to adjust for today's game?
Well, luckily for us, we have some other guys, some new guys coming into the squad today to add the depth that we were looking for, and the depth that we were lacking. So hopefully we shouldn't have too much of squad issues going forward.
All right, Coach, Manager Stephen Clark, thanks for your words.
Thank you very much.
When we come back, we find out how deep San Juan North Secondary School digs in terms of going up against East Mucurapo Secondary. We are live at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. This is the Tiger Tanks Secondary Schools Football League Premiership Division. A Group B doubleheader today, but let's look at some of the other fixtures that will be played this afternoon.
Welcome back here to the Hazley Crawford Stadium. It's the Tiger Tank Secondary Schools game Premiership encounter between San Juan North Secondary and East Mucurapo Secondary, and that should be a good thrilling encounter. It's really hot, very, very sunny here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. And you know, you got to feel for these guys, these youngsters, because this 2 o'clock sun at the moment, it's not easy. I myself had a little run on the track, and after about 10 meters, I had to stop. It was so hot. Nothing to do with anything else, but the heat made me stop. Of course, I'm Colin Murray alongside Brent Sancho. Brent, the field looks absolutely beautiful. I mean, you know, you just look at the field and you want to play football, but it's so hot and sunny. You know, that it's going to be difficult for these guys. They got to consume a lot of water during the course of the game.
Yeah, I would imagine there would be a water break at some point during the course of this game. As you rightfully mentioned, it's the first time in a couple of weeks, Colin, since we've been doing broadcasting, of course, that we've had this sort of situation, meaning that the pitch is of course void of any puddles of water, mud patches that we've seen in the past. We certainly saw that at the Trinity College East facility, and we also saw that of course at Naparima, as we look at East Mucurapo going through their paces before the game this afternoon. And as you rightfully mentioned, this is a sort of weather that you have to conserve your energy. You have to be very much on point as the way, of course, you exert yourself. It is tough in terms of the sun and the weather, but in terms of the playing surface, it's almost immaculate.
Yeah, it is really good. But this is a typical example, the conditions, the weather conditions. And you've always heard coaches, someone going through their pieces, warming up before the start of this game. And you've always hear coaches saying, let the ball do the work. And this is a typical example this afternoon. You just got to let the ball do the work and conserve your energy.
Well, of course, when we look at East Mucurapo as they take their walk out to the field, the substitutes to go towards the respective benches, you know, they're a team that gives a lot of energy in terms of defensively. They work very hard in trying to win the football back, and you just wonder from a defensive point of view where they're going to draw that line of confrontation. Are they going to try a high press, which means you will exert more energy, or are they going to sit in a low block and of course try to conserve energy throughout the game? It's be interesting to see how Coach Saunders approaches this one, and obviously you draw that with the backdrop of a man like Larry Noel up front for San Juan North, and is ably of course supplied by Lyndon Sweel.
Well, interestingly enough, as you talk about conserving energy and high press, they're going to play a 5-3-2. Now, I'm a little surprised at the two, because they're playing two guys up front, but they're playing with a sweeper. So they play with a sweeper, and as I said, the 5 at the back with this sweeper. Then they've got 3 in the midfield and 2 up front. Whereas Sawo, they go with a 4-1-4-1. As we all know, Larry Noel is a goal-scoring machine. But what is good about San Juan North, they tend to come up wide. They've got Joseph on one side, and they've got a new player, Christian Brong. I'm not sure if he's going to pick up the wide role, because normally Rogers, we've seen San Juan North play a couple of times, and Rogers plays on one side, Joseph on the other. Rogers is on the bench, so and there's this new name of Christian Brong. So it's going to be interesting where he plays. But just judging by the makeup and the composition of their side, it appears to me that he's going to probably pick up the wide role. But they've been successful with this 4-1-4-1. I mean, you look at their results. 5-1 win against QRC. That was a game we did. The 13-0. And you got to say that may have been a little bit of a freak result. I don't think Chaguanas North is as bad as 13 goals against them. And then they beat Moruga 3-0. And that you have to say fortunate win against Trinity College East when the ball stuck in that puddle of water, and Larry Noel followed up and put it away. But still, I think the most important thing on the conditions there and that ground, it was so heavy. I think the most important thing for them to do was to come away with 3 points, which they did.
Yeah, and that's what today's exercise will be about as well. We talked about it in the build-up to today's game, as we look at Coach Dale Saunders coming to, of course, his seating area. when you look at where San Juan North is now in the table, a win today would put them into the next phase of the competition, and I'm very sure that would be in their minds. You talked about new players coming in. Coach Moore, of course, lamented on the fact that he's a bit short-staffed from the playing perspective coming off of the bench, and he was expecting some new players to come in to be registered in time. So that may have happened. But of course, overall, as you look at their tactical approach to the games, they're very comfortable in holding quite of a defensive shape. San Juan North, they almost defending with 6, with Jones and Mitchell dropping in to give support to that back 4, and even more comfortable in allowing the top 2, of course, to do and roam and go on their own.
Yeah. So when we just learned, we're supposed to be starting at 2 o'clock, but let's just let our viewers know that there is a slight delay because one of the assistant referees has been caught up in some sort of traffic and can't get here as yet. So we're just awaiting him to come before we get this kickoff, and it should happen very, very shortly. But there is the round 4 results. We spoke about the San Juan North win, 1-0 win. Queen's Royal College coming off a 4-2 victory against Malik, and that would be a real good victory for QRC against Malik, because they struggled the round before with a 2-2 draw against Chaguanas North. They lost 2-1 to East Mucurapo, and Presentation continue their winning ways, winning against 3-0 against Maruga. But let's go back and reminisce, Brent, a little bit about that victory, San Juan North against Trinity College East.
Yeah, as we mentioned, of course, the playing surface and the game was difficult for both teams, puddles and soft spots throughout the field. But of course, that was the aid for the opening goal, scored by that man, Larry Noel.
That was unfortunate. The ball just stuck there. It sat up nicely for him to just put it into the back of the net. What I like about Noel so far, Brent, is the manner in which he takes his goals. He doesn't seem to panic. He just gets himself in the right position, and he calmly slots it away from the keeper. I mean, that is his 12th goal of the season, and he's the 10th type of player. If he gets a sight in, he's going to make you pay.
He is, and Lyndon Sween will attempt there and hitting the crossbar. And Noel and Sween, they have this almost shoot on sight type of approach, meaning that when they get any sort of room, inkling, or even indication set up by themselves, they're going to take a strike and goal. And that has caused a lot of problems for teams in this division, because they've been potent, Colin. They've done extremely well. Not in that instance there where he went high, but that's the attitude with Sween and Noel. They want to strike, they want to score, they want to try and find opportunities. Brent, get on goal.
We talked about that field as we're looking at the highlights of that game between San Juan North, and look at it, the ball is just not running as it should be, and there's another shot. Sween should have done better with that. He went for power and hit it over the bar. And again, we go back to the coach lamenting the fact that his squad is not that big. Now, we're talking here guys 15, 16, 17, playing 3 days ago on a field like that. How much would that take out of them, or would it? Because these are youngsters. Shouldn't be that difficult for them, as we look at some of the crowd here that has come out in support of the teams. Well, of course, one supporting Mucurapo, the other supporting San Juan North, but still we have a few spectators on hand. Yeah, just going back to the point, how much you think that will take out of them? Because you got the feeling, well, they're young, they can run all day, they could run today, they could run tomorrow, but it's not, it takes a toll, a ground like that, on your muscles, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly takes a toll. It also, of course, comes down to the type of recuperation they would have had leading up to this fixture, what they've put into their bodies from a nutritional standpoint, and of course the type of training sessions they would have gone into to prepare for it. But it certainly does take a toll, and you add to the fact that they're playing in sweltering conditions here this afternoon. You would have to feel there's some little knocks and bumps from the game on Wednesday, and of course some fatigue from the legs in terms of trudging through the mud that they would have faced. So you'd have to I mentioned it at the beginning. Of course, the shortness of the playing personnel that San Juan North has in terms of their depth. They've gone with basically the same squad, only one change to the starting lineup that we saw on Wednesday. So from a playing perspective, it seems that Coach Moore is comfortable with putting his players back on the field. Or is it a situation where that is the hand that he's played? That is what he has to offer. I'm quite sure we would see quite early in this fixture, maybe in the first 15 minutes or so, the type of impact that Wednesday's game would have on his charges.
Yeah, no doubt. And you have a guy like Larry Noel, who and SEEN, they have been. I would say get 80% of the ball, because they are the two main men, and of course the other players will be looking around for them. But you look at that the San Juan North team. I mean, we keep talking about SEEN and Noel, but you have Mitchell. You have Mitchell, you have Jones, you have Joseph, and they have also done quite a lot of hard work for the team. Well, we're going to have a look at another highlights. It's going to be Naparima against Speyside. That is another game we covered on Monday gone. That was a easy win in the end for Naparima, and they struggled for the first 23 minutes before they got a penalty. Before they got a free kick, and it was put away into the corner of the net. A really good free kick by Francis, and just like that they took the lead, and it was 1-0. It soon became 2-0 as they went into the half leading 2-0. And Brent, you've had a feeling that this game would have been close, but all of a sudden Speyside, they had a couple injuries. They came into the game with a few injuries, then they had a couple more injuries, and then things just fell apart for them. There was Ogaro hitting that one over the bar.
Yeah, as I mentioned during that broadcast, I don't think in my career of doing, of course, broadcasting for football, that a team has suffered 4 injuries that would have impacted from this making them, of course, have to make changes. I don't think I've ever seen that. And not only the injuries, Colin, is the persons that were injured, leaders in the defense, persons in the middle of the park who had some impact. Of course, as we look at Naparima College on the front foot, but Colin, Speyside really toiled and struggled on that day. And of course, the coach afterwards mentioned about the footwear, and he felt that his players on that day didn't have the appropriate footwear to compete with Naparima College.
Yeah, that was so very true. But they gave up something like 4 goals in the last 10 minutes or so, and it really eventually Speyside taking a hammering by 7 goals to 0. But again, Speyside, they're a much better team than that. And obviously, as we said, the footwear, there's Ogaro basically walking the ball into the back of the net. Yeah, and you look at some of Speyside before that 7-0 thrashing, and they've been holding their own. But it was unfortunate that we, as you rightly said, not only did they come into the game with injuries, but they had about 3 or 4 injuries on the said day. And
some of them look like muscular injuries as well, Colin, which was, of course, a direct impact from the playing conditions. And as you look at this pristine hot sun, you wouldn't think that the last 2 games that we've broadcasted was played in torrential downfall and very wet and slushy conditions. A stark contrast here today.
I'm getting a little concerned though, Brent, because it's 10 after 2. By the time this game is finished and then you get into the next game, it gets dark pretty early, so we'll have to be careful with that. But let's take a break, and then when we come back, hopefully we'll have live action in this encounter between San Juan North and East Mucurapo Secondary.
Show me this roll. Roll up. Easier. Faster. And then just fall apart after. Easy to just fall. Don't tangle apart.
Not like that, I'm sure.
Well, there's something along those lines.
You are one, I'm sure. But no.
Something like that. Some kind of one in,
One for you.
one out.
One?
One in, one out. One in, one out. I think so.
When it works out, if you every keep it.
Oh, you go pretty small out. They are just pulling this just so it's easy when you're, even if you run in. Like
I
you say,
ain't running, but yeah.
you push ahead, like just release and you good.
Once they start to come out in the field, then I'll walk out inside you.
Directly straight to the center.
Huh?
Straight to the center.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when I decide.
And in.
Yeah. Of course.
Well, welcome back here to the Hazley Crawford Stadium. It's the Tiger Tang Secondary Schools League. It's Sawa North Sec coming up against East Mucurapo Sec, and it should be a very interesting encounter. Finally, we're going to get some action, because looking straight across in the tunnel, we are seeing the officials and the teams. We've got a temporary official. When I say temporary, the Kurt Charles, who was supposed to be the assistant referees, one of the assistant referees, he couldn't make it. And we've got Michael Spencer holding on for him. But more of that after, as we look at the two teams come out in sweltering conditions here. If you're now joining us at the Hazley Crawford Stadium, it's hot, it's sunny, it's going to be really tough on these youngsters. Having said that though, the ground looks absolutely in immaculate condition. As I say, good afternoon to you, Brent. Brent, it's the kind of ground that just makes you want to go and play football, isn't it?
It certainly is, especially if you've been looking at our broadcast over the past 2 weeks. We've seen games, of course, played in quite opposite type of as we see the officials there, Rushan Balaram and Michael Spencer, as you mentioned, Colin, the temporary official, and of course the referee is Kevin Suarez. And the conditions are a lot different to what we've seen at Naparima College on Monday, and of course at Trinity College East on Wednesday. Slushy, muddy, overcast, rain. Today, quite the opposite. Sunshine, great surface to play on, footballing surface as they call it, as the teams of course exchange pleasantries, but certainly the type of ground that would suit the team that's willing to of course be patient in their build-up and of course put possession as their priority in this fixture.
I haven't seen East Mucurapo players yet, Brent, but I think the conditions here, I think it's going to suit San North, their style of play.
Yeah, especially the play of Lyndell Sween. He's the type of player that plays in those pockets, tries to of course get himself open and spray passes to a very welcoming Noel up front as we take a look at the starting lineups.
Yeah, well, this is the East Mucurapo secondary. They've got Alexander Deshon in goal, and then there is Kadir Atiba, Sharon Hendrickson, Luke, Henry, Lachman, Pierre, Toussaint. Then there's a Kamali Henry as well, so I'm not sure if they're related. There's Harley and Gulston. And the coach, the ever-present Dale Saunders. So that is the East Mucurapo lineup, and let's quickly go through the San Juan North lineup. Haynes in goal, there's Lewis, Ferguson, Brown, Noel, Sween, Joseph. Then there's another Lewis, Desai Lewis. There's Kent Guy, he is at left back. Cadell Jones making up the midfield together with the defensive midfielder Jardel Mitchell. And the coach is Jerry Moe. So we have the two lineups for you, the officials, and we're just about getting ready. And San Juan North in the green and white stripes with the green shorts, and they will be kicking towards the scoreboard end here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium, and East Mucurapo will be kicking towards the Movie Town goal. As we get going here in action, the first game of a doubleheader, it's San Juan North against East Mucurapo, and right away San Juan North is on the move. It's cleared downfield, and this is Lewis. Good run from him. Looks up, tries to get it in field to Noel, but it's one back here at the back. Still, they can't get it away. The shot comes over the bar. So the shot coming there from who else? Lyndell Sween. As we said, Brent, earlier, these guys shoot on side, don't they?
Yeah, they need no introduction to have a striker goal whatsoever. They have such a good eye for goal. More importantly, good eye for the situation. As we see another look at it, the ball was always moving away from him. It looked like he sliced across it with that left foot of his. By his standards, that's an opportunity missed.
That's right, but here goes East Mucurapo. That's a good tackle. But that was a good tackle coming in there from Ferguson. The throw quickly taken as San Juan North looking to come forward. No one really settling it as yet, as this is East Mucurapo. That is Henry. The shot eventually coming there from Harley, but no power in it, and it was easy pickings for goalkeeper Haynes. It's long kick out there, trying to find Noel. It's a nice ball wide. That's Brown, the new man on the team. As he suggested, he's going to pick up that wide role as Rogers is not involved today, and sends the cross in, but it's cleared away. As Harley picks it up for East Mucurapo, gets it towards Gulston. He can't control it, but it comes all the way back towards that looks like Pierre. Eventually it's picked back up by Jones. He gets it to Noel. This is a chance. You have to think, oh my word, that's his first touch, I think, of the ball. Larry Noel, typical Larry Noel goal. It was pushed through the defense. He ran onto it, looked up, and just calmly side-footed it away from the goalkeeper. San Juan North in the 3rd minute. They've taken the lead.
When we talk about the threat that he provides up front for San Juan North, outpaces his defender, opens his body and slots it home with his left foot. That is a top quality finish. Nice touch around the defender, gave him no chance, beat him for pace, and more importantly, had the vision and the creativity to knock it around the custodian in goal for East Mucurapo secondary. 1-0 to Samoa North.
What a start. And we've seen this before, Brent. We saw it against Trinity East. We saw it against QRC, where they start quickly, get an early goal, and it seems to settle their nerves, doesn't it? This is Pear. Actually, getting the ball back is Latchman, sorry. And he is brought down, is it? Yes, Latchman is no, that's Pear. I was right the first time. Pear being brought down, and it's going to be a free kick for East Mucurapo.
Well, it's an intelligent run, Colin, from Larry Noel. He ran off the shoulder of the defender, which of course allowed him to outpace the retreating defender and put it into the back of the net. It's a good run.
Well, that's
poor.
Yeah.
That's really poor.
It's high, not so handsome. It's going to be a goal kick for Samoa North. Yes, he got by the sweeper. They're playing with 5 at the back, including that sweeper in Atiba. But he just outpaced Atiba. And, from the time he got in position, Brent, you knew he was going to score.
Well, it was a clever run. It was a very good run. He ran off the shoulder of the man that's marking him. And more importantly, he got into a space where Thibaut wasn't able to see him until it was too late, and he outpaced him. It's a good goal, good finish, good run.
Well, there is Joshua Lewis playing it out, and it's going to be a throw for East Mucurapo. Throw is going to be taken by Latchman. Here we see the Samoa North bench as Latchman looking for some movement. Gets it from Gulston. Turns nicely. Looks to get it in field, but comes off of Dasai Lois and goes out for another throw. Much closer to the corner flag this time. It must be very demoralizing as well, Brent, when you... Let's just have a look and see, can he get the shot away? This is Henry. Still in possession. Turns with it nicely, but in fact, that was... Yeah, Henry couldn't get it, couldn't get the ball to settle, and so he lost the opportunity. Yeah, it must be very demoralizing, Brent. You're coming up against a team that has scored 22 goals, leading the competition, and after 3 minutes, sorry, you find yourself 1-0 down.
Especially, and the type of goal as well, Colin. They're deliberately playing with a 5-back with the 3, particularly in the center with a sweeper. And one of the defenders, that's Luke Michael, seemed to be paying a lot of attention to Larry Noel, and he ran off his shoulder. So I'm very sure leading into this game, there was a lot of work on that aspect of the game, and in 4 minutes, I think he ripped up the form guide.
Well, that was a cross coming in from Joseph, but headed away. It's come to Brown. It's going to go back towards Lewis. Gets it to Ferguson. Guy knocking about the ball nicely. This is Mitchell, the defensive midfielder. He seems to be all over the field. It's Lewis, Brown. This is good movement from Samoa North. Making that run going forward is Jones, but a good strong tackle coming in here from Latchman, and it's going to be a throw for Samoa North.
Well, look at the run by Larry Noel off his defender, beating him for pace, and the finish, Colin, top-notch stuff. Not just there, he opened up his body.
That's right.
And of course, we've seen some of those blasted over the bar by players in this division, but not Larry Noel.
Yeah, you just knew when he outpaced Atiba there and was getting into position. I mean, you could have marked it. You know, I mean, we've seen the type of finish already for the season. I mean, this guy is a machine. That's going to be a goal kick for East Mucurapo.
And I don't think he gets enough credit for the type of runs he make as well. He's a type of player that, from a defender perspective, 1 minute you see him, 1 minute you don't, because he's always trying to get in behind you. And I could tell you, as a defender, that's the worst type of striker to play against, because you're always worried about the space in behind you, and he has the pace, not just the pace as well, Colin, but he has the strength as well to hold off defenders, retreating defenders.
Yeah, and he's also the kind of striker, Brent, you keep looking around to see where he is.
Correct.
Because he's always on the move, isn't he?
Yeah, and it is difficult because as a defender, you like things in front of you. you know, you like to run onto headers, you like to run onto clearances with your feet, but when an attacker is trying to always get in behind you, you get worried.
Well, a throw for East Mucurapo. They trail by 1-0. East Mucurapo, of course, in the maroon. Is it maroon, Brent? Am I right in that?
That's a
fair assessment.
Fair assessment.
Here is
This is coming from you. You know, you can be colorblind at times. Only see yellow and blue.
No, I'm seeing the green and white stripes as well. So here is East Mucurapo. This is Henry. Does well. Is he going to win the throw? Yes, he does. So he's got a throw out of it. Very close to the corner flag. East Mucurapo in 4th position at the moment in this group. It's Group B. Just a point behind 3rd place QRC, who the QRC play later. Of course, they play against Trinity College East. This is SSFL on the go. Is he brought down? No, says the referee. Referee Suarez, as they have the advantage, but this time he's going to blow.
Yeah, that's very late. He's lucky not to get in the book, Colin, because the ball was played there by Jones, and the afters, just look at the trailing foot afterwards, just stepped on his toe.
Yes, of course, that's another, you know, again, Brent, we talk so much about SSFL and Noel because of they're two gifted players, they're touch players sort of thing, but the workers, you've got Kedell Jones, you've got Jardel Joseph and Jardel Mitchell, all real serious workers. They are the workaholics on this team.
Well, they're the engine room of the team as the ball is played into the box. The keeper came for 1 second and then went back for a corner, but you're right, they're the ones that of course give SSFL and Larry Noel the opportunities to do what they can do the best. And because of the work rate of those two in the middle of the park, unsung heroes I may add as well, Colin, that's why San Juan North has been so successful, and that's why they've been undefeated so far.
Well, SSFL with the corner, goes way over to the far post, looking for Ferguson. Actually, this is Ferguson, sorry, that was Lewis. Getting it to Ferguson. Ferguson, he has to go all the way back towards Guy. Keeper Haynes. Ball looking for Brown, but Latchman is there. Gives it away to Lewis. And the ball comes off of Latchman, and it's going to be a throw. The throw quickly taken. This is Jones. Can't find Brown. So a throw for East Mucurapo. Centre field, Noel in possession. Oh, he's brought down. No, seems a good tackle from as far as the assistant referee who was there, and the referee wasn't close, but the assistant referee was there, so he must have taken the ball, Brent. But from our vantage point here, it looked as if he took Noel out, but the assistant was close. This is Henry. Still Henry. Does well. He needs some support, but there's no maroon shirts around him. But he's complaining because he's saying nobody was around to help him. He had 2 and 3 defenders all around him. He was only seeing green and white around him, and he did well to win the throw. There is Coach Dale Saunders. Having conceded that early goal, East Mucurapo, they seem to have settled a little bit better. Having conceded, you always worry when you concede that first goal that it can open the floodgates. A foul throw, and it's going to be, as we don't really see foul throws, but referee Suarez spotted it, and it's going to be East Mucurapo to take the throw. Assistant just showing him where the original throw was taken from. So they've made some yards going up the left side, the San Juan North. They lead here by that 3rd minute Larry Noel goal. maybe we should say the lead by the 3rd minute, you know who. And there is, I think that was the
Queen's Royal College
QRC team, yeah.
Queen's Royal College players.
Yeah, it was.
Of course, coming up in this doubleheader against Trinity College East. Should be another entertaining game.
Yeah, that should be a good game. But here is Latchman going down that left side. But I don't think he wins the corner. It's going to be a goal kick for Samoa North.
Yeah, it's fair to say that East Mucurapo has settled into this fixture. 13 plus minutes in. As you rightfully mentioned, sometimes conceding so early, whatever is said in the locker room coming out before the game goes out the window. And they may be now into plan B and thinking of how they can get back into this fixture. One thing for sure, they need to, of course, find some sort of rhythm. As much as they have settled, Colin, there's still a game that has a lot of stop and starts and no fluidity to it.
That's right. Here is Guy Joseph. Back to Guy, but eventually put out of play by Henry. So it's going to be a through for Samoa North. Guy is going to send it forward, looking for Noel. Again,
everywhere he goes, he has 2 maroon shirts next to him, and I suspect that is going to be the theme for the game this afternoon. But as he showed in the first 5 minutes or so, he can't elude them.
This is SSFL getting it, but Henry intercepts, but Samoa North regain possession. This is Jones, does well, gets it to Lewis. Brown is wide, and this is Brown now. Plays a good ball to Larry Noel. He's trying to play it back towards Jones. Not a good ball, but SSFL picks it up in the middle of the field. And Mitchell trying to play it wide, but had a little too much on it. And Joseph couldn't get back in time. And it goes out. It's going to be a through for East Mucurapo.
But Brown already, Colin, looks like a good new addition to the Samoa North team.
Looks pretty pacey, doesn't he? Scott seems to have some pace. That's why he's out wide on that right side. He's not going to get that, but he wins a throw.
It looks like the referee may have called it back for a foul.
Yes, he probably has done, is he?
Looks like Pierre may have gone over the back
of Brown. So it's going to be a free kick. Coming across to take the kick is Ferguson.
There's not a lot of green and white shirts in the box, that's for sure, for this free kick. They still have 3 players back and the kicker, the 4th. And just Larry Noel in the box alone.
I'm not sure what that is about, but we'll soon get an idea. Is it that...
can't be going to goal from there.
I don't think he is.
So.
But is it that Jones and SSFL are going to run into the box? No, they're not. But goes to Joseph, but he can't keep it in. So it was meant for the far post, Brent.
Well,
Joseph run it in, but it didn't work.
It's looking at the fact there was only 2 green and white shirts in there against at least 7 maroon shirts, and it almost fall to the green and white shirt.
But Brent, this was the plan. Joseph was coming in from the far post, and nobody picked him up.
Yeah, it's poor marking. He just ghosted in there and was allowed to come in unescorted into the box. You would think, Colin, if it was a bit closer to him, he would have a free strike and goal, all alone.
Yeah, he was. I think he was marked by Henry, and then he made the
switched
run.
off.
Yeah, Henry allowed him to go. But as we talk of Henry, there he's clearing it downfield. Guide as well. Goes all the way back to Lewis. He in turn gets it to his goalkeeper, Haynes. That's a bad ball. And this is Henry. Still Henry. Gets it well, there are 2 Henrys. This is the other Henry. Al Khalipa Henry. And he can't keep it in, and it's going to be a throw for Samoa. So it's Kamali Henry and Al Khalipa Henry. Not sure if they're related. But Mitchell
It's a good pass.
Yeah, but Jones just couldn't
collect it.
Yeah, he didn't collect it. And here comes East Mucurapo again, a foul committed, and it's going to be a free kick for East Mucurapo.
That's where you want your players calling on the half turn. He had talked so much in football about being on the half turn, as we have another look at the infringement there by Jones. But Jones needed to be on the half turn so he could have collected the ball and advance. But his back was turned, and of course he couldn't collect it because of that.
Ball chipped forward, headed away.
Ambitious.
So it's going to be a goal kick for San Juan North Secondary. It's a nice kick, and it goes straight to Noel. Does well in the end to control it, and goes over, so it's going to be a free kick. The ball's still rolling, so SSFL will have to take it. The idea was good. He saw Joseph wide, so he tried to get it in quickly, but unfortunately the ball was still rolling, so he's got to take it over.
I'm looking at Noel and another look here at the foul against him. He's engaged by three players in maroon, Colin, and he looks quite comfortable with them around him.
Yeah, the sweeper is Atiba, and then the two central defenders, Luke and Hendrickson. So all three are paying very close attention to Noel. But it's SSFL. Is he going to go to goal from here?
I think he will.
So SSFL with the free kick. Yes, he does go to goal. Not a bad effort, but straight to the keeper. It had to have more power than it did. The direction was good. It was on target, but you would expect any keeper worth his salt would have saved it.
Well, you wondered from that distance, Colin, if he was able to get the combination of pace and, of course, direction. He got the direction correct, but certainly not the pace.
Here comes Joseph.
That's a good tackle.
I thought he could have played that at one time.
Yeah, correct.
Noel was inside, and Noel was eager for it, and he tried to run past the defender rather than just knocking it in field one time. But here he is again, Joseph. It's it back to Guy.
Let's take another look at the free kick there.
And that ball coming across from Guy. Still San Juan North in attack. This is Noel slipping, and because of that it's cleared downfield, but only as far
check
as
1 2 Mike, check
Lewis.
1 2.
This is Guy.
Check 1 2 Mike, check 1 2.
Long ball forward, out comes Haynes. Does well in the end. He had a bad little bounce as he was about to get to it. He had to be very careful, keep his eye on it. But this is SSFL.
That has to be a foul.
Well, referee shaking his head, saying get up. So he does get up and he gets possession. But ball cleared straight on to Jones and goes back to...
That's a good ball.
SSFL to Jones. This is wide for Brown, making the run up that right side. Being confronted by Latchman. He blows by Latchman, sends it in, but the flag has gone up to indicate that ball went out.
I'm not sure the entire ball went out there, Colin. Of course, I'm miles away compared to the assistant referee on that side. But from where we sit here,
yeah, I agree with you. I didn't think the entire ball went out, but we'll as I said, Brent.
So look again here, Colin. This is a very good shot of this.
That entire ball certainly did not go out, but sometimes it's difficult for the referees and the assistants to get everything right. That's why you have they have VAR, Brent. But here goes Toussaint for East Mucurapo. Does well, turns well. Did everything right except the cross. That was Michael Toussaint. And let's see what's
a water break.
Oh, is it?
I did wonder.
Yeah,
they would, and it's a wise decision, as we talked about, of course, the weather and the impact it has, as we see a cross section of fans. And You know, Colin, despite the fact that they're 1 goal down, East Mucurapo, they haven't really had any chances on goal or created anything from an offensive perspective. I think they've put so many numbers have been concentrated on their defensive side of things that they look a bit thin when they go forward.
Yeah, the thing is that they have hardly conceded. They've only conceded, Brendan, we made mention of that as well before the kick-off, that they've only conceded 1 goal thus far, and that was again in the first game against QRC, which they conceded very early, 5-1, but then they had the thumping 13-0 win, then the 3-0 win against Moruga, and the 1-0 win against Trinity College East. And somebody was asking me, one of the fans saw me and asking me, what do I think of the San Juan North defense? I said, well, it's pretty solid, because they've not conceded at the back. I think goalkeeper Haynes, he's a competent keeper. He reads the play well. He comes off his line quickly. He deals with the cross balls. So even defensively, you look at them with the 2 lowest boys, Ferguson and Guy. I can't say, Brent, that they've been really tested so far. But what they've dealt with, properly. Here's the goal from Larry Noel.
Yeah, at any level, Colin, that's a good goal. Pace, power, and precision. And slotting that ball away to get away from his defender. It's a clever, intelligent run. He's ran off the shoulder of the first marker and got himself in a position. I like the way he opened his body up, Colin, and of course passed the ball into the net. As I said, we've seen so many at this level blast the ball into the high heavens. That one certainly was a man that's in form, Colin.
Well, that's number 13 for the season, Brent. He scored in every game thus far. He might be creating some kind of record in the Tiger Tank Secondary Schools League. But we're back live here. The players did, in fact, had that water break after 23 minutes. And
when you talk about San Juan North, they've always had prolific strikers, haven't they, Colin?
Yeah,
they had Boyce
last year.
Semper. Before that, and of course, if you go a bit further back, the man Marvin Oliver, they call him Hat-Trick Oliver.
Yes, I remember that. But here is Henry. Oh, he couldn't control it. Needed to control that ball and get the shot away, but he's fighting for it. Being confronted by Joseph and Guy. Gets the cross in, but it's going to be a goal kick. I like Henry, Kalipa Henry. He's a real fighter out on that right side for East Mucurapo, but he doesn't seem to have much support.
Yeah, and it goes back to what I was saying in terms of they're being thin on the attacking side of things, because when you look at it here, they have at least 6 to 7 maroon shirts defending.
Well, Jones being brought down, he did well. He came in, cut inside of the defenders, dribbled his way past one, was trying to get by the second defender who brought him down. So it's going to be a free kick for San Juan North. Jones gets it back to Lewis. Sends the cross in. Deep one. Joseph is going to pick up the loose ball. Oh, he turns nicely with it. Trying to go up the line. Oh, that's a good tackle from Luke. Gets it downfield. Gets it towards Harley. Harley can't control it, but the loose ball picked up again. This time by Kamali Henry. This is Kamali Henry going through the San Juan middle of the field. Gives it to Toussaint. Toussaint twisting, turning with it, but he can't control it. And it's picked up by SSFL. But there was a good tackle coming back from Toussaint. And it's going to be a throw for San Juan North.
You identified the work of Mitchell and Jones in the middle of the park. And you talked about, of course, the solidity of San Juan North. And Colin, you'd have to feel that their contributions is a significant reason why the San Juan North defense have only conceded once so far this season. They have been exceptional in their awareness, covering for the back four, and of course making up in some of the ground. It's almost like they defended with 6 players, because of the work rate of those two.
And you know, the thing is, we keep talking about Noel and SSFL, but make no mistake, this San Juan North is not a 2-man team.
No, it's not. It's not at all.
They're a well-rounded team. But of course, in any team, Brent, if you've got you will have one or two superstars or one or two star players.
Yeah.
But it's the work rate is not just left to the two of them. They have their jobs to do, both Noel and Swede, and they do it well. But the other players around them also have their jobs to do, and they do it very well.
Yeah, and when you talk about Mitchell and Jones, I think they're two players that San Juan North cannot do without. Of course, if they're to go far in this Tiger Tanks SSFL.
Well, there's the ball played by Guy, taken on the chest by Toussaint, and the shot comes, but it goes wide. Shot there coming from, seems to be, is it Gulston taking the shot? And in the meantime, a player is down from East Mucurapo.
Well, you have to feel, Colin, when you look at the type of support that San Juan North is getting, the feeling within their supporters, that there's a lot of optimism that this team can go far, and rightfully so.
Actually, Brent, when you look around here, and we're going to get a shot, we're going to ask our cameraman to give us a shot of the crowd here in the covered section. It's not a bad crowd. I didn't realize when I looked around that there's so many people here so far viewing this first game.
Well, it's slowly built up.
Yeah.
In terms of it, of course, as I mentioned, the San Juan North faithful who have been out in numbers to the left of us. And we saw similar numbers at the Trinity College East game as well.
That's right.
They came out, supported their team. As I said, there is a feeling within their supporters group if you speak to them. And of course, the persons in and around the San Juan North team, they truly believe that they can go all the way this year. And rightfully so. They've done well. Undefeated. Have only conceded once this year and have scored a lot of goals so far in this tournament.
There we saw some shots of the spectators. The covered section here is filling up nicely, and I'm sure they're going to be a few more coming on. Again, a fan saw me and he was saying that he's pleased with so far with some of the attendance that he's been seeing on the television. But this is Harley trying to get the better of Guy. And eventually it's cleared up field by Lewis, but it comes right back. And there was Mitchell coming across, plays it out. And it's going to be a throw for East Mucurapo. It's going to be Henry with the throw. Looking for Toussaint. This is Joseph. Oh, they've given the throw to East Mucurapo. Luke sending it forward, getting it to Henry. Does well in the end. Oh, he gets it to Harley and actually got it to Henry. And the ball cleared upfield. It's going to be another throw for East Mucurapo. Certainly, it's not out of it. We've just been playing for about half an hour. And we keep saying, once you just have that one goal lead, it just takes a moment of brilliance from the opposition or a mistake, and suddenly it becomes 1-1.
Yeah, I think for them to, of course, really trouble San Juan North, they're going to have to start showing a bit more quality on the offensive side and putting more numbers forward. I think that's the only complaint I would have in terms of their efforts to get back into the game. This is where they have to be careful.
Well, this is Atiba. Thought he could have gone back to his goalkeeper, but I suppose they're not taking no chances.
Well, there's certainly something he knows that we don't, why he didn't go back there. Because it was the obvious play.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be Guy with the throw. Looking for Noel, but headed out by Luke. Joseph. Guy. It's not a good ball, and it's picked up here by Henry. Gets it to Toussaint. Toussaint does well. Ball played forward. Harley in a chase. But the keeper took a chance.
Yeah, it's good goalkeeping.
Yeah, it's in the end. It worked for him.
They've got to talk, Colin. 3 players going after the ball.
And it comes to you-know-who, Noel.
That's a good ball.
Yep. Sends it one time, looking for Brown. Goes to Sween.
That's good defending.
Yep, excellent by Toussaint as he comes forward. Gets it to Harley, but cleared away towards Joseph. He's got Guy for backward support. Back to Joseph. Plays a good 1-2. This is good football, but it was pushed just a little too far ahead of Joseph. But the idea was good, Brent.
Yeah, good idea.
Nice one-touch football. This is Jones. Still Jones.
He did very well. That's a foul.
Being brought down now. Was brought down by, looks to be Pierre, the man who bringing him down. Yes.
Yeah, once Jones got into that area, he just never really played the ball, did he? He played the man.
Yep.
And the referee was right to call that a foul.
Yes, Pierre, the man who brought him down. So it's going to be a free kick, and no doubt, Lindell Sween is going to try it, and he's going to go, as per usual, he's going to go to goal from this distance. He's got to get some power, not only direction. So here's Sween. That's difficult, and Noel is there. Well, what do you expect? Was not held by goalkeeper Alexander Deshawn. He didn't hold on to it. It bounced off of him. And Brent, who else would be following up but Larry Noel? So that's his second for the afternoon in the 35th minute. And Larry Noel has made it Sour North 2. Or should we say Larry Noel 2, East Mucurapo 0.
Well, the free kick bounced off, and the first man on the scene is none other than Larry Noel. Good anticipation by him. Look at the defenders, all on their heels. I thought for a second there may have been a hint of offside, but he certainly timed his run to perfection, like he always does, and puts it into the back of the net. I just wondered from the defender's point of view why they never followed it in.
Well, you just got to, here goes Noel again. Oh, that's a good tackle from Atiba. But you know, you've got to blame the keeper, certainly, because he should have held on to it. It wasn't, it was quite
straight at him,
out.
straight at him.
Yeah, straight at him. He should have held on. And so that would be on his mind, but he's got to put that behind him and carry on with the game. Here's Noel, gets it to Brown.
Oh, that's a good tackle.
Actually, that's a very good tackle coming in there by Latchman on Brown, and eventually Brown is number 21. Just there is Latchman. So we've seen the two of them having a go at each other all afternoon so far, because Brown is wide on the right, and Latchman, he is the left back for East Mucurapo. So there is the free kick sent downfield towards Toussaint. He's looking to head it on, but it's going to go to goalkeeper Haynes.
He's done that well, Colin, playing off his line.
Yes.
Most acting as a keeper sweeper.
This is Sween on the go. He's pushed it too far ahead of him. It's going to be a goal kick. You could see the intention, Brent. He was looking to push it and try to get to the byline, but I think it was let him down.
Yeah, it's touched him down, and I didn't think it was the right move he should have made, because captain coming across there seemed to have anticipated Atiba where he was going to go. Maybe he would have been better served, maybe trying to cut inside, but it's a good positive run by Sween.
This is Joseph, but he loses out towards Henry, and the ball sent back upfield, headed forward by Hendrickson. Picked up there in the...
It's too much.
Yes, Joseph is not going to get there, as that ball was played ahead of Joseph by Jones.
Well, Colin, we did wonder coming into this game the impact of San Juan North's fixture against Trinity College East in that heavy waterlogged pitch in Trin City, and whether or not fatigue may have played a factor. And I can tell you from what we've seen so far, they seem to be the team that didn't play this week. There's no signs at all by it, and I wondered what their recuperation would have been like. But
and the training, they would have probably done some very light training, Brent, I would have thought. Maybe on Thursday after the game, a sort of a warm down, so to speak. On the Thursday, and just some tactical work rather than any running and that type of thing.
Well, they have been the team, I think, on the front foot in this fixture, despite, of course, the weather conditions, the pitch and everything. And they've certainly matched that as well with, of course, the ability to get around the pitch. As I said, no signs whatsoever from the game on Wednesday. There goes Noel again.
Yes, getting it from Jones. Has to slow it down, gets it back to Brown. Oh, the ball hit Tristate and didn't go anywhere, and he's able to play it back to Latchman. But here comes Mitchell. Still Mitchell in possession, gets it towards Jones, and CEEN looking to have a go. The ball ricochets out towards Joseph, sends it in.
That's a good ball.
And the header towards Noel.
Should have done better.
The header from Jones went to Noel, and he just couldn't get a handle on it, and so they were able to clear it. But they giving it away towards Tristate. He can't turn with it, but he does get possession. He gets that ball back towards Latchman and towards Pear, and Pear gives it to Latchman. He plays that long ball, but it's not so good, and it's going to be a throw for Samoa North. This is Noel, gets it back to Joseph. This is CEEN. Guy. Again, they simply know, Brent, when to hold on to the ball, when to knock it around, and when to go forward.
Yeah, they're a well-drilled team. And as I mentioned in their game on Wednesday, they're a team that's very comfortable in their skin. They fully understand their strengths, and more importantly, they understand their weaknesses, and that's what's made them such a good team in the competition so far. They've always played to their strengths, Colin.
Yep.
They don't move away from that.
Tell you, they're going to take some beating, but this is Brown going up that right side. Good strong challenge coming in by Latchman. So a throw. Lewis is the man that's going to take the throw. Ball goes out again, so another throw. We're in the last 5 minutes of this first half, and Samoa North comfortable in the lead by 2-0. And of course, the man who scored the 2 goals, if you're now joining us, you can guess, Larry Noel. So he's up to 14 goals now. That's incredible in 5 games, Brent. I think you could maybe look for a contract with Liverpool.
Yeah, your team needs all the help they can get.
I didn't ask you to go there, but I just was trying to point out Noel could do with a contract. It's really, you don't find the thing about it. I was reading an article. Somebody sent me an article the other day about Luciano Woodley. He scored hat-trick after hat-trick in those days playing for St. Mary's in the 70s. And it reminded me so much of Larry Noel.
Well, there's a knack for goal. When you look at the second goal that he scored this afternoon, that's pure instinct. And he has that. He's a goal scorer, he's a poacher. He's always trying to, obviously, create ways to put the ball into the back of the net. He makes runs that way as well, always looking to get in behind. And of course, he has finished quite well. The first one is a good example of that. Just passed it by the goalkeeper.
Yep.
That's a bit silly by both players.
Yes.
Maybe the heat getting the better of them.
Jones and Tristate. Jones, of course, with Samoa North. And there's Tristate.
That looks like the waltz. For those of you who watch dancing. Maybe the tango or the cha-cha.
Okay, Brent, I didn't know you were so versed in all those dances, but kudos to you. This is, let's see, the man there, Harley, trying to go forward with it. He wins the throw.
Well, I think although being 2-0 down, a bigger concern for Coach Saunders is they just have not looked cohesive from the attacking perspective, Colin. They haven't really put the ball down and create opportunities. They spent a lot of time and energy, of course, trying to keep SSFL and that man Noel at bay, but maybe this is the chance they're looking for.
Oh, he missed it. That was Kamali Henry.
And that's the sort of chances they've been having. Individual creativity. We've not really seen, Colin, anything from a team perspective so far from East Mucurapo, and they need to do that if they are to get back into the fixture.
This is Harley trying to get it towards Pear, but it's won by SSFL, and he sends it up for Noel. Away goes Noel, but he headed it a little too far forward, and old goalkeeper Deshawn comes out and sends that ball long forward, trying to get East Mucurapo on the go. But the ball comes off of Henry, and it's going to be a throw for Samoa North.
Well, the minute Noel realizes that of course SSFL is in possession, he's off, Colin. He takes off, and that is what makes him such a good goal getter in this competition so far. His anticipation is second to none. He anticipates well, and there's that instinct that he's always trying to get in behind you. He leaves early. I don't think he's necessarily has blistering pace, Colin, but he anticipates so well. He gets 2 or 3 steps ahead of the defender.
So we're just coming up to 45 minutes. Not sure as yet just how much added on time there will be. The shot from Jones, but going over the bar, so it's going to be a goal kick for East Mucurapo. So the goal kick sent downfield, headed towards Noel. Away goes Noel. He's looking for some support and decides he's going to, very intelligently, plays it off the defender to get a corner.
That was smart. He knew he didn't have the appropriate angle to even attempt a shot on goal. So he held it up and gave his players some time to get into the box. And when he figured that time was there, he tried to put it in. That's good, smart play.
So SSFL with the corner. So we're just a minute over the full time, waiting on the referee's whistle as Noel plays it back to SSFL. Sends the cross deep to the far side. It's headed back in. This is the turn from Mitchell. Cleared away, but still danger here. Ferguson couldn't get it. Goes out there to Lewis. He plays it back to Jones. Brown. Lewis. Oh, this it goes to SSFL. I want to. This is SSFL. Oh, it goes wide.
Good football.
Played a really good 1-2 with Joseph, and you have to think Brent he should have at least hit the target.
Yeah, he should have hit the target. I think the ball just got caught up in between his legs, and he never really sorted out the opportunity correctly. A player that caliber, you just thought he would have hit the target, Colin.
Yeah, he should have. Here goes East Mucurapo. This ball played too far forward, ahead of Henry, so it's played out. And the referee whistle goes to indicate, referee Suarez, to indicate that we've come to the end of the first half. At the end of it, it's Larry Noel 2, Samoa North 2, and East Mucurapo 0. What a good first half we've seen so far, Brent. Larry Noel, of course, scoring both goals. It's been a really good first half. So we're going to take a break now here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium as we close the first half with Samoa North comfortably in the lead by 2-0. We're going to take a break and then come back to the very sunny Hazley Crawford Stadium.
Sorry, why mix you up with the next man? I mix you up with the next man. That's why they're going to audio specials. I mix you up with them. There was this fellow bald head. Christian? No, not Christian. Christian's smaller than Indian. I'm not right either. He's smaller than me. Yeah. No, not Christian. He's small. Huh? No. You? All you still recognize Jesus as the first coming of Christ, eh? So that's how you still.
Welcome back here to the Hazley Crawford Stadium. It's the Tiger Tank Secondary Schools Football League action. We're at the half, a game between Samoa North Secondary and East Mucurapo Secondary. Samoa North, they lead by 2-0. The brace coming from Larry Noel. Who else? Let's have a look at the highlights. And right away, the East Mucurapo were under the gun. A shot coming, and then the through ball to Larry Noel. Look at him go. He bounced past Atiba and then calmly slotted the ball into the back of the net to make it 1-0. Look at Atiba. Couldn't hold on. He couldn't get the ball off of him. And Noel just opened his body nicely and slotted it away from the keeper. And East Mucurapo, they were really trying to get back in the game because that goal was scored as early as the 3rd minute, and then goal number 2 coming in the 35th minute, a free kick from Lindell Sween. It bounced off of goalkeeper Alexander Deschamps, and who else following up was Noel to put it into the back of the net, and there was Sween getting an opportunity. Went through with a nice through ball and couldn't slot it away. He went for the far post, but he couldn't slot it away. Let's look at the stats here, and that should tell the story of the 2-0 lead so far for Sawa North. And shots 10 for Sawa North to 3 for East Mucurapo. Shots on target 5 to 1. Fouls 3 for Sawa North, 6 for East Mucurapo. No yellow cards yet, no red cards in the game, no offsides. 2 corners for Sawa North, and 3 saves by East Mucurapo custodian as opposed to 1 save from the Sawa North. Let's go down to Hans and see who he's got with him.
2-0 lead over East Mucurapo Secondary School here with assistant coach Dakota of Sawa North Secondary School. I mean, 2-0 above, very comfortable. What is Sawa North doing differently? I mean, you're unbeaten at this point in time, and well, it looks like this could possibly be another victory.
Yeah, it's just basics, role and function and sticking to the game plan, that's it.
Now, sticking to the game plan, of course, but what is going to change? What needs to be tightened up as we move into the second half?
I think we get a bit sloppy in midfield and especially in defense at sometimes. Most of the times we get the job done decisively because at 5 games now we 1 goal against, so we get the job done defensively, but it's still a bit sloppy.
All right, thank you very much, Assistant Coach Dakota. We look forward to the second half and what Sawa North Secondary School has to bring, but we also look forward to what East Mucurapo Secondary is going to do differently. It's Assistant Coach Alexander. What needs to change?
More or less, it was tough for the young guys, and then being a young kid. But 2 mistakes, we didn't really, wasn't defending bad, got back into the game after the 1-0 control, and we say about 20-30 minutes of the game, and then, they got a little tired, and they gave up another goal from the drop ball. 2 easy mistakes that brought Sawa into the game more or less. Where Sawa really didn't get any more chances. They didn't really create chances like how they're accustomed doing. But hats off to Sawa. Sawa is one of the better teams that we are coming up against, and we know we did our homework. But at the end of the day, you have to come out and execute what you was taught. But it's a little tough for them. But I believe that we'll go back, change it up a little bit, and come out, looking.
But coach, the game isn't over till it's over. You'll have 2 wins, 2 losses so far for the season. This one, turning it into a win. How can it happen?
We had to come out and really pressure that ball. We had to get the forwards going better. We had to get a little less mistakes in the midfield when the ball passing forward and a little more through balls, a little more runs off the ball, and I believe we could get back the 2 goals.
Well, one of the persons that is going to help East Mucurapo Secondary get it done is your captain. Tell us about your captain.
Kid, young, strong, leader, but he plays the sweeper role, right? But the man who really supposed to we had 2 players in Zion Haley and young Mikel Toussaint.
All right, let's look at Khadira Atiba.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at him, right? The captain for East Mucurapo Secondary School.
Being a captain, being the leader of the team is very important. So you always have to be on point and always on the best behavior at all times. Always leading the team, doing the right thing at all times. So it's a very important role. It has been a very difficult time with the COVID pandemic, but I really got time to see who I really am and what I am capable of. So it was a difficult time, but I actually glorified the moment for actually showing me who I am, and yeah. I'm very elated to start back this new season, and because of all the hard work me and my team put in during the vacation, I believe that we'll have a wonderful season. I believe we have a very unified team on and off the pitch, like me as a captain helping some of my teammates in school to behave themselves and on the field as well, so I believe we have a very unified team. Motivation for myself is, I'd say, my family, because most of all, after everything, you want to make your family proud, and team-wise actually. Always motivate the team, send them quotes and things to keep their head and lift their head at all times. And I believe that my hard work will also motivate my players and lead my players to work hard as well.
Right now we're in the stands with the fans joined by Lewis. Lewis is back in Sour North Secondary School. How long have you been supporting the team?
Well, I've been supporting Sour from ever since.
Right.
That's a very long time. That's about 12 plus years.
All right, so which means in 2016 you saw the team take the title, right?
Yeah.
For Intercol. But let us know, do you think this team has that quality?
More than enough.
More than enough.
With Larry not well out in the front,
boy.
Nobody could stop this team.
All right, well, I see the fans making noise. I see we have a horn here. Let us hear the Sour North horn blow right now as we get ready for the second half. When we come back, the second half, Sour North Secondary School, East Mucurapo. More horns, let's go!
Welcome back here to the Hazley Crawford Stadium. We're at the half and we're just awaiting the re-entry of the teams. The Sawa North secondary and East Mucurapo secondary teams. The Sawa North, they're leading at the moment, a brace so far by Larry Noel by 2-0. But as we heard from that halftime, Brent, the East Mucurapo, the assistant coach was saying that, hey, put some pressure on the defense of Sawa North, and who knows, they might be able to get back into the game.
Yeah, I think from a collective standpoint, they need to of course, attack in numbers in a couple occasions. When they do, of course, go forward and advance on the pitch from an offensive perspective, they seem to be isolated, the players that have advanced, and so they have to find a way, of course, to making sure that their attacks are a little bit more cohesive. Of course, as you rightfully said at the half, Coach Alexander as well start looking for combination play and slotting balls through. But it's easier said than done, because
right.
a lot of focus have been put in stopping that man Larry Noel. As we've mentioned throughout the game, Colin, at least 2 or 3 players have occupied in their minds, and of course in terms of their spacing on the field, Larry Noel, and that now has given them a deficiency. On the other hand, when it goes into a transitional state from defense to offense, they seem to be a bit short on numbers.
There were the officials, the referee Suarez, Kevin Suarez, Rushan Baliram, and Michael Spencer, the assistant referees. But, as you talk about Larry Noel, and they're playing with this sweeper in Atiba, and then you've got Michael Luke and Sharon Hendrickson. One is playing on the left side of the defense, and the other on the right side, and the 3 of them really are so much occupied with Noel that it's sort of creating a little bit of space for the Sweens that are coming up from the back.
Brown as well,
Jones, yeah,
and Brown on the far side, as you rightfully mentioned, and even Joseph on the left, and of course, as the game progresses, at some point, Coach Saunders and East Mucurapo are going to have to start to gamble a bit, meaning they may have to start throwing extra numbers forward, playing extra numbers higher up the park, and not so much try to, of course, have so many numbers behind the football. You just wonder when that point would be. They're 2-0 down now. When does that happen? When does it trigger? Does it start now from the second 45 minutes, or does he wait to see how things unfold 5 to 10 minutes into the game?
Well, I think the first 15 minutes of the second half is going to be vitally important, because if they don't concede within that first 15 minutes, and after play about an hour, he then has to decide what is his next move. If they do concede within those first 15 minutes, I think it's going to be curtains. But it's going to be East Mucurapo. They are in maroon. They're going to take the kickoff, and Sawa North in their green shorts and green and white stripes. And there is the goalkeeper for Sawa North, Xavier Haynes, and we're just awaiting referee's Suarez whistle, but we see a substitution. In the meantime, it appears that the number 10 is coming onto the field. That's Malik Jarvis. So he's come on, and not sure who is replaced, but we'll get that information for you. So Jarvis is on. That's, if we can definitely tell you that, the number 10. So here we go, as East Mucurapo trying to cut the deficit and maybe at least get back 1 goal very early in the second half. It's that ball coming off of Brown, and it's going to be a throw for East Mucurapo. Latchman with the throw. Some movement there from Harley. Brown not able to control it, kicks it out, and it's going to be another throw for East Mucurapo. I'm not seeing Kamali Henry, so from East Mucurapo, he was on in the first half. Not seeing him on the field, but here is the man who's come on as a substitute, but he's not going to get there. Jarvis.
It's a good idea.
Yes, Kamali Henry is the man off. Number 14 for Jarvis, the number 10 player. So a goal kick for Haynes of Samoa North. Yes, so Jarvis on for Kamali Henry as they try to come forward through Pierre, but it goes down towards Noel. He's trying to get past Atiba. That's good. Much better. Much better. You feared for him at one time, Brent.
I did. I thought he was dead, and somehow he was able to stick out that long right foot to stop the progress of Noel.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that again because it's going to be a goal kick. So let's have a look at that again with Noel trying to get the better of Atiba. He did it early in the first half.
Carbon copy.
Yeah,
very similar.
He was not able to do it in the second half.
I thought he got the better of him when he got around him there. And boy, what a tackle that was by Atiba. Because it could have easily, of course, get in. And now the referee's having a conversation with both men. Of course, some words may have been exchanged by the two. They've been very competitive, the two captains, as it relates to trying to stop Noel. That's for sure. That's the #1 job for Atiba. A task that a lot of defenders have not been able to live up to so far in this competition.
Ball played forward there by Gulston, but straight to the keeper. And that's a long one for Noel. He's going to give chase. He's surrounded by two defenders. Atiba goes down, and in fact, Luke clears it, but ball comes off the outside of his boot, and it's going to be a throw for Samoa North. This is Lewis, Joshua Lewis, Mitchell, Ferguson, Joshua Lewis, very much left-footed, gets it to Joseph, plays it towards Noel, and he can't control it, and it's cleared right back upfield. And there was Lewis with a almighty kick with a left foot that didn't make contact. But this is Toussaint. Actually, that's not Toussaint. That is the ball played in towards Harley. Harley with a shot. Oh, it hits the post. How unlucky can you be? He did so well. Harley really did well. And the ball, this time it's Toussaint. All of a sudden, the tempo has been upped. Latchman gets it to Jarvis. This is Harley again. Couldn't keep it down. But how unlucky can you be, Brent? He did all the hard work, and he slotted it to the keeper's right, and it hit the post.
Well, he gave himself a yard here with this little shimmy and touch. And I tell you what, Colin, I could have easily gone into the back of the net. Goalkeeper Xavier Haynes completely beaten with that one, but Larry Noel on the charge again.
This is Noel being confronted by Atiba. Decides to go backwards to Sween. And Brown trying to get it a one-time back towards Sween. Wasn't successful, but Brown does well. Wins it back. Plays it through to Sween, but Latchman is there. He gives it away, and that's going to be a free kick. Challenge Sween from the back, and it's going to be there is Sween, as if to say, well, what am I doing here on the ground? But he's won a free kick, and no doubt he's going to take it for Samoa North. Coming up to just 5 minutes so far in this second half. We're in the 50th minute of this game. Free kick for Samoa North. Lindell Sween. Saw him take a free kick in the first half that bounced back off the keeper's chest, and Larry Noel was there to put it in the back of the net. Is he going to go for goal again?
He would. There he is.
Got a little deflection, and it again bounces off the keeper. This time goes up rather than coming back off of him and going in front of him. It went straight up, and he was able to hold on to it.
I think he's right in obviously attempting to do that, because obviously he felt that there would be a rebound coming out of the goalkeeper.
Yes, goalkeeper Alexander Deschamps has not had the best of afternoons, as Atiba with that long kick upfield looking for Harley, but it's headed away, and it's going to be a throw for East Mucurapo. They've started the second half okay, haven't they? They've been trying to get on the front foot, trying to put Samoa North under some pressure. And I think the coach, he did talk about Harley, and he did to say that if Harley can get a chance, he can very well put it away, and he did get the chance, but unfortunately it hit the post, no fault of his. This is Latchman looking to get it to Pear. The loose ball goes towards Luke. And it's going to go out of play. It's going to be a throw for East Mucurapo.
Well, they've been positive, Colin, East Mucurapo. They look a team that understands that they're 2 goals down and they need to do something about it. And it starts with the application. It's been a lot different, a lot better, a lot positive. As you rightfully say, they're starting to throw bodies forward as well. But this is the problem.
And the swing, this is Noel. Oh, he's through on goal. This is going to be his hat-trick. Oh, can he get it? He's got it on the right foot. Well. I never thought, Brett, that Larry Noel would have missed that. It's probably his easiest chance, and he's muffed it. Well, you know, he's now showing he's human after all.
Well, I think this challenge here, Colin, threw him off. Made him, of course, miss a step. He really wanted to get a bit closer to the goalkeeper. Advance and made him go the long way around. And once he's done that, the numbers started to pile backwards, back into the goal, which prevented him, of course, with the easiest of task of putting it into an empty net. But I think that last tackle in particular by the Mucurapo defender threw Larry Noel off, certainly threw his stride off.
Yeah, I'd really like to see that again, because when Larry Noel was away, I thought, well, that's hat-trick time. But his pace as well, Brent. He's got a great turn of speed, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
This is Tuse for East Mucurapo.
It's a good ball.
Not a bad ball at all. Going wide. It was Gulston, but it's played out, and it's going to be a throw for East Mucurapo. Let's have a look. Look at the pace, Brent.
Look at this challenge here, Colin. This is the challenge. I think it threw him off. He had to make a big stride and get it, and then he collected the ball and he tried to go a bit
I think he pushed it just a little too far ahead of him, didn't he?
Without that challenge, I think it would have been a smoother, of course, lay into the goalkeeper.
This is another long ball, but this is too far away from Noel, and Luke is going to pick it up for East Mucurapo. They still trail by 2-0. Very unlucky, because Harley hit the post early in the second half, and you just felt if that ball had snuck into the goal at 2-1, anything was possible. And the assistant coach did say that they can get back into this game at 2-all. So if they can get that goal, that elusive first goal, you never know. Cleared away, but comes to Latchman. Well, very ambitious. He was under pressure.
It was never on.
Yeah, and also a long way out.
Not only that, the ball, of course, ballooned up into the air, which would have meant he would have to have a terrific bit of execution to even get that on target. Not sure why he would attempt it from that distance. And of course, with the ball being that ballooned into the air.
This is Haynes going long, maybe trying to get it towards Brown. But it's picked up by Sween, and just behind Brown, and it goes out for a throw for East Mucurapo. But you could see the intention from Sween. He was looking for a 1-2 with Brown. The only problem is he didn't get it on target when he played it to Brown. Atiba gives it straight to Mitchell, gets it to Noel. No, that's a good ball, clever ball to Sween.
It's a good idea.
Yep. But this is Jones. He's looking for some support, gets it across, and coming in is Joseph, but he's not able to get the shot away. It actually bounced back off of him, and luckily went to goalkeeper Deshawn. But some chances now opening up here for Samoa North. Is it because, Brent, that East Mucurapo trying to push forward a little bit more and leaving some space at the back?
Yeah, they're certainly pushing numbers forward. And not only that as well, Colin, they're leaving numbers forward as well. before they were seemingly trying to get their players behind the ball, as they have another look at this infringement here on SSFL.
Referee
called it right,
yeah. And he had a long chat with Tristate, telling him cut that out. But
they have to go for it, Colin. East Mucurapo. You sense they'd have to make a turn or charge at this, and they just can't sit back and allow someone not to continue to dictate the pace of the game.
Joseph getting it in field, but Tristate picks it up. Then it goes to Pear, but he is brought down, or is he committing the foul? I think Pear committed the foul, and it's going to be a free kick for Samoa North. So it's a goal kick for East Mucurapo. Still, they trail by 2-0 here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. The first game of a doubleheader. More action coming up after this game. QRC will be in action against Trinity College East. So Tristate getting it back to Latchman. Tries to switch the play to Jarvis on that right side, but it's nicely picked up here by Pear, and I was going to say he's brought down, but the referee says to play on. And this is Jarvis just coming over onto this left side now, and this time Pear is brought down, and it's going to be a free kick for East Mucurapo. Tristate is over it. Atiba is coming forward, so Atiba may very well be the one who may try to go straight for goal. There's a 4-man wall at the moment, and that has been, let's just see, goalkeeper Haynes saying to them go left, and there was Atiba. You could see the intention because the goalkeeper was setting up the wall, the referees whistle blew, and Atiba hustled and tried to get that ball into the top left-hand corner away from to the left of the keeper, and it was a woeful kick. But this is Brown looking for Noel, and Noel strides easily to that ball, gets by his man, goes past Latchman, but he's not going to get past Hendrickson, and it's going to be a throw for Samoa North. Don't think it's a corner. The ball went to the left of the post, so Lewis is going to come across. Yes, and he's going to take the throw. Waiting for some movement inside the box. Noel himself is moving across, but it's headed away and eventually cleared up field by Atiba. But here goes Harley. Does well, does Mitchell. So many times we've seen that. Mitchell coming to the aid of his defense and winning the tackles.
Yeah, that was very solid there by Lewis. Joshua Lewis at the back, aided by Mitchell, but that's good play.
This is Jarvis, but he can't go forward with it. So just about an hour played so far. Still 30 minutes left in this encounter. Samoa North leading 2-0. This is Joshua Lewis getting it to Guy. In front of him is Joseph, but he goes backwards to Lewis, and the ball played to Jones, but a loose one picked up by Mitchell. Plays it to SSFL. SSFL turns nicely, looks around, and shifting it to wide towards Brown. He in turn sends the cross. It's too close to the keeper and too close to the byline, and in fact it goes behind, and it's going to be a goal kick for East Mucurapo.
Yeah, he had a bit more time.
It was a great ball, wasn't it?
Than he had thought he did. Good ball out there by SSFL. Brown, who was showing good signs in the first half, maybe tiring a bit in the second half.
Yeah, they've got Rogers. I would expect that's going to be a straight swap.
Yeah.
Rogers for Brown. Because I think it's his first game. And again, we talked about the conditions here, Brad. The field is really in good condition. But it's the sweltering heat and the sun. It's been very, very sunny all afternoon. This is Tristate. Plays a good ball as coming forward with it. Running into problems is Gulston. And in fact, it comes off of Gulston, it goes out. It's going to be a throw for Samoa North, is it? Yes, it is.
If you somehow get past Mitchell and Jones, Lewis is always right there.
That's right. So this throw is going to be taken by Lewis. Gets it to SSFL. SSFL plays a good ball to Jones. This is Guy. Oh, look at the space for Joseph. He's got acres and acres of it out there. And then plays it down to Noel.
It's a tough ball for him.
Yep. Well, he gets it back though. And then gets it to Jones. Jones turns nicely. SSFL still on possession. Decides to go wide to Brown. SSFL going down that right side and tries some trickery. That doesn't work.
Yeah, and Colin, you want your players to be expressive and creative, but again, you just need to know where.
SSFL.
And you can't shoot from that distance. And I think that's, as we identify in the last game, that's one of the challenges that young SSFL have. He's blessed with a lot of potential and talent, but he needs to know when, where and how. And sometimes I think he makes the wrong decision. Certainly trying a bit of trickery is good, but where and when you do it is even more important.
Ball sent down by Ferguson at no real distance, just height, and Guy himself is not able to get it away.
Mitchell with the cleanup job again.
Yep. Nearly gave it away, the Samoa North. This is SSFL. Joseph is out wide, and that's not a good ball. He
need to be played into feet.
Yeah, he tried to play the ball for Joseph to run onto, but Joseph was all by himself. It was just a straight, it should have been a straight past him. This is Harley going for goal, but no power. Again, the distance he's shooting from, you don't expect that to trouble Haynes.
And Colin, when a player like SSFL, which you hope goes to the next level, it's going to come down to those sorts of decision-making processes, and I think that's where he struggles a little bit at times. When you play at the next level, you're expected, of course, to make the right decisions, proper decisions, and sometimes he doesn't. That's a prime example over the last 2 to 3 minutes there of some of the bad decisions that he made. There's no doubt in his ability, Colin, none at all. But it sometimes get clouded with some of the poor decisions, and he should be impacting games more. And I think if he can figure out that side of the game, Colin, I think he would have an even greater impact in football games.
Well, Henry wins the throw for East Mucurapo. Guy sends it back out. His throw is going to be taken again by Luke. Cleared away by Lewis onto the boot of an on-rushing Gulston. So it's going to be a So here is Tristate getting that ball just to his left and playing it towards Gulston, or towards Henry, and they give it back to Samoa North, and here they come down that left side. It's with SSFL. Oh, the man slips there and goes down, and this is Noel, but he's not going to get there. A mistake from Hendrickson, and you thought Noel would have just been able to get in, but he was not able to get in and he was cleared. But it comes right back to the heart of the East Mucurapo defense. It's headed away. It's going to be a throw. We see...
Looks like Brown.
Yeah, Brown is going to be making his way off. And it seems to be Thomas Naim, the man coming on. Yes, so Brown, and we did say that, Brent, we felt that he may not have lasted the entire game. Gets a nice round of applause from the...
He's done well, Colin, and of course, as you mentioned, he's a new addition. Of course, the man that normally takes up that spot is Rogers, who's not even on the team sheet today, maybe carrying some sort of an injury. And so...
but here goes the man who has come on as a substitute. But it's gone out, and it's going to be a goal kick for East Mucurapo. So Thomas Naim right away getting into the action. Thomas Naim.
Again, Colin, I'm not sure if that ball went out of touch. It's another call for a water break. Rightfully so, with the weather and heat as it is right now. But for what we've seen so far, it's hard to suggest that East Mucurapo is going to get back into this one.
Yeah, it's hard to see that at this point in time. They did have that great opportunity with Harley when he hit the post.
Yeah, and as we take a look at it again, Colin, I wasn't sure if that ball crossed the line.
Difficult to tell.
Yeah, difficult to tell from that angle. But
it looked as if it looked from that angle, Brent. It looked as if it did go over the line, but that's the only angle we have. So,
but yeah, I think from an East Mucurapo perspective, a lot of it has been individual brilliance. Nothing collective yet. We've seen so far as we take a look at Queen's Royal College going through their paces as they get ready for the second game. The mouth-watering clash against Trinity College East. And you have to wonder how that one's going to turn out. Both teams are desperately needing points. But as I said, from an East Mucurapo secondary perspective, it needs to be better collectively. We've seen individual brilliance hitting the post. Of course, moments of players taking on defenders. But we're not seeing them really play the ball around and, of course, try to dissect the San Juan North rear guard. That has not happened at all.
That's right.
And if they are to get back into it, they have to figure out that side of it, because they're certainly not going to beat San Juan North with solely individual brilliance. It's going to be a team effort if they are to. As we see the fans, as you rightly said, Colin, building up here.
Yeah, I'm really. It's a nice little crowd at the moment. Again, I would expect quite a few people have come in since for the second encounter.
Well, it's a North versus East battle.
Yeah.
So the interest is there.
It's some of the spectators. That's a small section of the spectators, because it's a nice covered section, covered stand where we have quite a number of spectators in the area and in the stand itself. This ball is played nicely to Mitchell. He's getting it to Jones. And this is the shot from SSFL, doesn't get over it. I think that's one aspect, Brent. He's got that nice cultured left foot. I would like to see him certainly shoot a lot more balls on target.
Yeah, because he's always, he creates the space. As we take a look at the crowd that's building up here. He does, Colin, as you rightfully say, have that cultured left foot where he's able to create that little bit of space to get the shot. But every time he takes the shot, he seems either rush or he's leaning back.
Yes, that's right. That kind of overbalance.
Yeah.
Just needs to get that right. So this is the ball cleared downfield by Lewis. And it's going to be a throw for East Mucurapo.
Well, it must be noted, Colin, if San Juan North holds on to this scoreline or add to it and come out victorious, they will be advancing to the second
playoffs,
phase.
yeah.
That would see them going to 15 points. I think Queen's Royal College, it's the closest in contention. Who plays next? They're on 7 points, and even with a win in the last 2 fixtures, they can't catch up to San Juan North. So a lot to play for. Or is it 3 games left?
Yes, we see a change, and it seems to be the man who is coming off is Latchman. So Latchman is off, and Jelani Cox is on. And Clint Latchman, the man coming off. So it seems to be a straight swap there, as Latchman, the number 23, 8, sorry, is off, and Cox is on. So not sure if Cox is going to pick up that position as a left back. We'll just have to wait and see where he goes. That ball played through. This is a shot coming over the bar. Well, he should have done better. Seems to be Gulston who took the shot and couldn't keep it down. But here is Mitchell. Plays a good ball to that man who's come on as a substitute, Naim. SSFL. Oh, that's not good by Guy. Didn't stretch enough. Just allowed the ball.
Controlled it.
Yeah.
And despite some of the shortcomings of San Juan North in the second half, they still look quite comfortable at 2-0, and they're more likely to score.
Nice ball from Sween to Naim. He has to go back or square for some support. He goes back. This is Lewis to Sween. Gets it to Ferguson. He in turn gives it to Lewis. The throw quickly taken. Cleared upfield as Lewis. Nam couldn't control it. No, he cannot keep it in. The man who's come on as a substitute in Cox. This is good, but unfortunately they lose out and it's cleared away. Sween in possession. Oh, tried to get it wide towards Naim. Wasn't able to do that. The ball headed forward. It goes straight into the hands of the keeper. Just 75 minutes gone. Just 15 minutes left of this encounter. San Juan North, they still lead by 2-0. Jarvis getting it to Noel. And the referee just calls back play. It's going to be a foul committed. And that should give East Mucurapo the time to make the substitution. Naim Taylor is the man coming on. So the number 9, Taylor, is coming on and making his way off on the far side, is it? Just waiting to see who in fact comes off the field. No, he's coming over to the near side. And the number 17 player, Henry. So both Henrys have been substituted now. And ball sent by SSFL. It's going to go wide towards Naim. Lewis does well. Crowd loves that. He sat him down on his behind Brent, and the crowd loved that. The Trinity fans love it. I remember, you know, with the likes of the Latapis and those kind of guys.
Big Marcel.
I think they just came to
entertain.
They were happy. They were happy if the game drew 0-0, but Latapi and company put a couple players on their backside.
He certainly did that on that occasion. A bit of skill. Certainly warmed up the Hazy Crawford and the San Juan North section. They thoroughly enjoyed that.
There is some of the spectators here at the Hazy Crawford Stadium.
So we have another look at, that's a foul there. That's the incident with the foul.
Yeah, that's the...
Very late. It's a substitute. Certainly can't afford to lose that man, Mitchell.
Yes, he is the engine room, isn't he? He's a small man, but he's very, very capable. And he's very skillful.
I think defensively gets around the pitch quite well as well.
I was about to say defensively he's good, but when he goes forward as well, he joins the attack and is quite capable in terms of creating space and playing a good ball. So the free kick is going to be taken by Ferguson for San Juan North. Sends it. That's not a bad kick. Eventually headed away. But Joseph fighting with Luke for it, and Luke clears it onto the body of Joseph. So this is Harley being sent away, but hit too far ahead of him, and it goes into the arms of the goalkeeper Haynes. He bowls it out, gets it to Naim. He's got Lewis for backward support. Still Naim, and that's given away by SSFL. That's not good. He's got to be careful, Brent. You know, we talk about just how good SSFL is, you know, when he picks up the ball, his shooting ability, his dribbling skills, his thing. But at times he gives away the ball, and that's an area of his game I think that the coaches need to work on to see his improvement. Talking about improvement, here goes Noel. Is he going to look to cut inside? Look, is he going to look for the shot? No, he gives it to SSFL. SSFL gets it to Jones. Back to Noel. Oh, he hits it over the bar. Well. This could have been a beaver trick today, Brent.
I thought somewhere in between here, both Jones and Jones and Noel may have crossed lines, but it wasn't that. Noel had the chance. Not sure why he went to ground. Just needed to steady himself and place the ball into the back of the net.
Well, I must say he's missed two chances today that I would.
Very surprised.
Yeah, I would have.
Very surprised.
I would have put your house on it that you would have scored, Brent.
Sure, my house.
So it's going to be a throw for East Mucurapo. We see another substitution, this time for San Juan North. And let's see, it looks like Batson, Deshaun Batson is going to be coming on, and the player coming off is Joseph. So number 3, Batson, is on, and Joseph is off. Harley trying to get, eventually the shot comes, it goes out. It's going to be a goal kick for Sawa North. Just about 9 minutes left.
It's a special, they've called it the Brent special.
Oh yes, that is the Brent. Oh, this is another one. Let's do. Probably going to get another one here. Another. Well, that's a good tackle.
Oh, Colin, they're all good tackles. I haven't seen the referee stop any of those plays. That one there, that's not a Brent special. I don't know how the producer put that one in.
Yes, this is the Brent Sancho's moments. But here's a long ball.
Well, as you realize, Colin, all the tackles connected. I think the producer has a fair idea of the way I played. I'm not sure about the last one.
What is a good tackle and what is a bad tackle? Okay, if you say so. I have seen some Brent specials as well, but they haven't shown any of those. And here goes East Mucurapo trying to go forward with it, but it goes to Ferguson. Gets it back to Haynes. And the man who has come on as a substitute in Batson tries to get it to Guy, the winner throw. So just about coming up to 7 minutes left in this encounter. Remember, we've got QRC here. QRC coming up against Trinity College East. That's supposed to be was a 4 o'clock kickoff. It's probably gonna run late, about 4:15 maybe, that kickoff. So we just going to introduce in the SSFL, the Tiger Tanks SSFL, the SportsMax app moment, and just the SportsMax app moment of the game, and we'll just wait for that to get an opportunity to do that. Will come up in minute 85 as that ball is sent across, looking for Jones. But here goes East Mucurapo with Harley. Oh, it's well won back by SSFL. Naim going down that right side is Jones. Sorry, that's not tackle. Jones. That's Mitchell going down the right side, and a good tackle coming in. Lewis with the throw. Gets it to the substitute Naim, who he does well. Sends the cross to the far post. This is Noel. Getting it back to SSFL with a shot. Comes off of a defender.
Oh, I tell you. He was a bit honest.
So another substitute. This time East Mucurapo will be making a substitute shortly. But this is the SportsMax app moment. The first goal coming from Larry Noel, outrunning the defender, opening up his body and pushing it. There he goes past the defender, and then the keeper came, opened his body nicely and pushed it past the goalkeeper. So that is our SportsMax app moment of this game. And so Rivers, the number 20, has come on, and he's replaced Toussaint. So in the meantime, a player down on the far side. Not sure who that is. It could very well be Luke. But the magic spray comes out.
I think when Coach Saunders looked back into this game, he would think that his team never really got into it. Offensively, that is.
Yeah.
They've had moments defensively where they've done quite well, but offensively just never got into gear. And in fact, San Juan North looked quite comfortable throughout the 90 minutes or so, although we're not there yet, but they've looked very comfortable so far. And they haven't been asked to come out of their rigid shape and the way they approach the game.
Well, as you mentioned, 90 minutes. We're just about 3.5 minutes away from the 90. As East Mucurapo with a goal kick. Is there another substitute coming on? I think there is. This is another Latchman. This is Nigel Latchman coming on, number 23. And he's gone over to that far right side, and I would think that Luke may very well be off the field, but we'll wait for that confirmation in a minute as that ball played through. But this is Haynes doing well.
Did really well.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Colin,
quickly.
I wondered if he misjudged it and he did not read the flight of the ball, and whether or not the attacker would have gotten there before him. But he was not only quick, he was decisive. Didn't hesitate. How many times we've seen goalkeepers come and stop? He didn't.
So there is the substitution, number 4, Luke. Michael Luke coming off, or Michael Luke, sorry, and coming on is Nigel Latchman. So Latchman for Luke.
So you have another look there of the foul.
He's got a yellow card, didn't he? Yes.
Yeah, Harley did. I believe it was Zion Harley that got I think before the end of that replay, there's a lot of pulling and tugging.
So SSFL is going to take the free kick, as is the norm with San Juan North. Sends it to that far side. Headed back. Noel is there. And that's a good ball. He was heading it wide. And unfortunately, it can't be kept in play. It goes out, and it's going to by Lewis. Joshua Lewis kicking it out, and it's going to be a goal kick for East Mucurapo. Just a minute left in this encounter, and we'll just wait and see how much added on time there will be. As away comes East Mucurapo, but they're running handball. I think the assistant referee on the far side is calling, so it's going to be a free kick for East Mucurapo. We're in the final minute here, and 3 minutes, we understand, of added on time as the QRC supporters still come into this venue. Actually, it has built up to really a good crowd. Ball sent across. This is East Mucurapo back in possession, trying to work something here, but it's won by Batson. Ball played down towards Noel. He's trying to head it on. That ball is played wide. This is Naim. Sends it over to the far side. This is Noel. Oh, he hits the post. Well, that left foot of his again. It came to him. This time he kept it down, and he smashed it against the post, and it came back out like a bullet. But what a good shot from Larry Noel.
I tell you,
smashed it.
It's a very difficult skill, Colin.
Yeah.
Hit that one time with his laces as well.
This is Naim. Still Naim. And it goes out. It's going to be a corner. We have 3 minutes of added on time. We have already completed the 90 minutes. Let's have a look at that Larry Noel shot again, Brent. It was a cracker. Let's have a look at it, Brent.
But he hit it
one time.
It's such a, and not just with the inside, with the laces as well.
Yeah, and he kept it down. Everything was good about it. It was unlucky that it hit the post. Had that gone in, oh my word, This is Noel having a go again, but coming off of a defender. 1 minute of added on time gone so far. We still got about a minute and a half left. As Samoa North trying to get an elusive third goal. But here comes East Mucurapo. They're trying to get an elusive first goal. This is Harley. Does well. Trying to flick it on. But out comes goalkeeper Haynes. Batson just leaving that ball for him to pick it up. Goes to Guy. Guy to SSFL. Oh, SSFL, that's poor. That's very, very naughty. Tried to play it one time. He should have.
It's the right idea for execution.
Yeah.
Well, Colin, we've placed the man of the match in the hands of Jardel Mitchell in the middle of the park, despite, of course, Larry Noel scoring 2 goals, but I think he needs to be highlighted. The work that
there's no doubt about it.
Him and Jones do in the middle. I think in this particular instance, he's been outstanding in the middle of the park.
I tell you what though, Brad, had that third goal
yeah, we'd have to change it.
I think if that third goal had gone in from Larry Noel,
change it.
Well, I tell you, I would have run out of here because people would have wanted to know if we were going mad.
I would have blamed it on you.
Of course you would. Here is, oh, that's a good run from Lewis. He's picked up that position wide on the left because Batson has gone into a central defensive position and Lewis has gone wide on that left hand side, but that first pass is not a good one, but luckily
defender's pass.
Yeah, Guy gets it back to Lewis. Guy is making the run going down the left side. It comes off of the defender. So we just about 10 seconds from hearing the whistle of the referee to indicate it's ended at 2-0. Brent, you're a little surprised at that scoreline, 2-0? I thought there might have been a couple more goals.
Yeah, there were chances for a couple more goals. I think Larry Noel in particular have been quite wasteful in front of goal, and that's the first time we've said that since we've been watching San Juan North.
Right.
He's normally extremely efficient.
He could have had a beaver.
Yeah, he could have easily had a beaver. Just didn't happen for him at all today. And and other chances to SSFL. I thought SSFL, as he trods off the field, was a bit disappointing as well for his high standards that he set throughout this tournament. But outside of that, it hasn't been bad.
And Chase Charles is the man coming on to the field. So we see the ball sent forward, looking for Jones, who is trying to get it across to Noel. So we haven't heard the referee's whistle as yet. We've been playing now just 4 minutes of added on time. He did initially say it was just 3 minutes. But this is Naim. This could be goal number 4. Oh, the keeper did well. Goes to Noel. He's playing it back to Jones, but it's picked up here by East Mucurapo, as that's Rivers, as he's trying to go forward with it, and eventually it's cleared. So just about 4.5 minutes. Not sure where he's got this 4.5 minutes from, as the keeper is now down, so we're going to probably go for 5 minutes. I think he took it full in his chest, trying to stop that ball from coming across the face of the goal.
May have been a bit lower than the chest.
Yes, it could have been in Niagara Falls. But,
wrong drills.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. He did the right thing in advancing, but I think as San Juan North progresses more and more, Colin, you're seeing a team that is certainly going to take some beating. They've not only looked very competent going forward, but they're extremely well organized defensively. And again, when you look at the likes of Jones and Mitchell that protect and shield that back four, and they put in an incredible amount of work. So as we see it again, Colin, a shot there,
yes,
straight to Niagara Falls.
Straight to Niagara Falls, and he went down for. He got back up, but then went down for the count.
I think the waterfall started to flow. So.
So it's let's see still we play on here, coming up to 6 minutes of added on time now, and the referee did indicate it would just be 3 minutes. referee Suarez is enjoying the game.
Either that or he's hoping that Noel gets his hat-trick. It's giving him enough time.
And wants to embarrass you, of course. Long ball sent upfield, but luckily it was cleared away from Noel. And finally, the whistle goes to indicate that we've come to the end of this game. And at the end, a 2-0 victory for Sawa North here against East Mucurapo. Really a resounding victory. You would have thought that they had a couple more chances. Noel in particular should have had a hat-trick, and he should have put it into the back of the net, at least a hat-trick. He could have had a beaver, and then he hit the post with one. But at the end of the day, it was just a 2-0 victory for Sawa North here, and the double coming from Noel, as there is the final score here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium at full time. Sawa North winning here against East Mucurapo secondary by a 2-0 margin. Let's have a look at the highlights, and this was the first shot but off target, and then this was Jones playing that ball through to Noel. Look at him, blows past Atiba and just slots it into the back of the net. Opened his body nicely and slotted it into the back of the net. Good pass from Jones, but look at him, look at the pace, and he was just bouncing past Atiba, opened up his body and slotted it into the net. Really a good goal from him. And then the shot from Harley, really not a good shot, not on target. And then the free kick from SSFL bounced off the chest of the keeper, and all Noel following up. All he had to do was put it into the back of the net, and he did that competently. So 2-0 here, the lead at the half. But SSFL had an opportunity for a third one before halftime and didn't put it on target. It went wide. And the start of the second half, East Mucurapo didn't do badly. They started on the front foot. Harley hit the post. He twisted, he turned nicely, got the opportunity, and he was able just to hit the post. Unfortunate for him. There we saw a shot from SSFL but this is a chance here for Noel. Got past the defender. The keeper came, and then in the end, he couldn't put it away with his right foot. The keeper was diving on the ball, and so it was still 2-0. Then Noel with another chance, coming inside and playing that ball back to SSFL. Then through to Noel, and you had to think that he would put it away, but he put it wide. Then that ball, that shot, that deserved better. A ball coming across to him. He hit it one time and just hit it against the post, and that was that. Let's have a look at the stats, Brent.
Well, as we take a look at his stats, there was 28 shots on goals, 21 for San Juan North Secondary, 7 for East Mucurapo Secondary. 9 of those 21 shots from San Juan North Secondary was on target, 2 of the 7 for East Mucurapo Sec. Of course, in the fouls department, a game that saw a lot of heavy contact, 5 from San Juan North, 9 of course from East Mucurapo Sec. 1 card in the entire day, and that's a yellow for East Mucurapo Sec. No offsides, 3 corners from San Juan North Secondary. 8 saves in total, 7 of those by East Mucurapo Sec, 1 by San Juan North Sec. The dominance by San Juan North Sec, and a comfortable victory at the end by 2-0. Let's have a conversation with Hans and his guests.
Thank you very much, Brad, here with Jadel Mitchell. Congratulations, you are a man of the match today. How does it feel?
Feels really nice to be man of the match today.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you think really contributed to this trophy being yours today?
Well, my effort was more than 100% to me, especially under the conditions of the hot sun, which we're not accustomed playing in.
Yeah. Well, definitely, you definitely made a difference on the field. So all the best to you, and we look forward to so much more. Congratulations, Jadel Mitchell. Right now, joined by Coach Saunders of East Mucurapo Secondary School. Coach, not the results we would have wanted, but nevertheless, learning experience.
Yeah, definitely. I'm proud of my young charges. They are young, they are growing, they are developing. So, yeah, it wasn't bad from them at all.
How do we get ready for our next match?
We just go back on the training ground again and come again. We go and work on our mistakes and take the positive out of this game, and we go forward.
But Coach, I won't lie to you, there was a completely different attitude moving into the second half. What caused that?
I think we changed the system a bit, and you know, we move one of the defenders and move them forward, so we get a lot more numbers going forward.
All right. Well, all the best for the rest of the season. Coach Jerry Moore, once again, another win, unbeaten so far. How do you keep it up?
I mean, just being consistent, you know, it's just staying focused, enjoying the wins tonight, and then the next week go back and prepare on the training ground. So we just stay focused on the job at hand.
Definitely. How do you keep these young men motivated?
I mean, it just have to be psychological, you know. It's more psychological now than physical or technical. It's not really tactical again.
But more than that, how do we get them not to be overconfident? Because, I mean, even if, you know, obviously you're qualified for the next round where you're going to face the top spots of Group A. But let us know, how do you keep the team from being overconfident when you all go up against the top of Group A?
Well, we know getting some depth to the squad, so guys know they have to play for their performance now. You know, they have to play for their spot now. So when they get a chance, you got to make it count.
Thank you very much, Coach Jerry Moore. All the best to you. Take care, man. Blessings. All right, here's what we're going to do. We are going to come back. 2-0, the final score. Sawa North Secondary getting the better of East Mucurapo Secondary School, securing their spot as qualifying for the next stage of the Tiger Tank Secondary Schools Football League Premiership. When we come back, QRC, Queens Royal College, go up against Trinity College East here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium.